Force Doctor. This is Siegmund, and this is going to be my Battle Arena Shoutcast audition. So let's take a look at the game. Pretty standard starting items coming out of everybody out the gate. Let's see what the teams do with their early wards in general. It looks like we got an invade coming in from the blue team. That could be pretty good. They've got the double snare with Morgana and Lux. And the red team's going in to the tri-bush. It looks like there's going to be a meeting in the river here. Let's see. Graves and Nami spot the Lux. Looks like they're just going to power through. I think both teams realize what's going on. Bubble misses. Good binding. Zoning him out with the... Oop. Oh, we got Warwick still on the pound.
30 seconds until minions.
Lots of deep wards for the blue team. That'll be helpful. That'll be helpful when kind of keeping an eye on where Warwick goes, although you kind of expect him to farm until 6. Not a whole lot going on there. Darius and Pantheon heading back to top. Looks like it's going to be standard starts for both junglers. Really, nothing significant. Could have been really explosive with the bubble and the bindings, but Lux started with the Lucent Singularity instead, which ended up being a nice zoning tool to sort of keep a fight from breaking out that we didn't want to see. Both junglers are going to get a leash from their bottom lane. I'm also interested in seeing how this early top lane plays out. You've got 2 lane bullies. Really going to go at it. I kind of expected to win in Pantheon's favor. But we'll see. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, Darius is playing really far back. Ooh, that was probably a bad choice to go up. He took a lot of damage for that one creep. Warwick finishing his first buff. Italy finishing her first buff. The junglers are about on par. Check out the bottom lane. Looks pretty good. Interested to see who hits level 2 first, because... Oh, alright, we got the red side gets level 2. Are we going to see any sort of all-in? No. No, it looks like it's going to be pretty safe, pretty standard. Lux looks like she's getting poked down in the mid lane, but overall this is about what you'd expect from all the matchups. The junglers are getting onto their second buff. Looks like they both opted to skip the third small camp. So that's interesting. Oh, we got a ping going down up top. So we could be looking at... this Pantheon is really bullying this Darius very hard. Let's see, it looks like Nidalee and Warwick are both in the area. She's moving up top. Let's see how this goes. Oh, he goes all in right when Nidalee comes up. That was a nice setup. Alright, let's see, is Warwick gonna show up? Oh man, he's out of mana. He's strong enough to have killed both of them individually. Oh, he needs to back out, he needs to back out. He's staying way too long. Oh man. I think he got, pathing or something, and ended up taking too many hits from that red buff Nidalee. That's a shame. But that's really going to help out Darius, who was really struggling in that lane. Warwick's just going to soak up experience. I don't think there's a whole lot going on. Pantheon took the free trip back to Rhynox the longsword and a ward, so that's good. Usually around the 3-minute mark, you'd like to start thinking about, especially when you're pushed up like that, how you can put a ward in the river to keep that from happening. His may have expired on that kind of a little bit late, but especially when you want to play that aggressively. And he took Ignite over Teleport, which was, you know, I mean, that's the right use for Ignite there, especially when you have a global like Pantheon. But anyway, we're focused on the bottom lane right now. Looks like it's just going to be a lot of safe farming and poking with their Qs. That Graves is shield really nicely. A little bit of blast. Oh, would have been a nice bubble. I guess he was trying to wait out the shield, but it takes a bit of time. I have a feeling this lane is going to be not particularly explosive until level 6, and even at that point, both supports can be used for really good disengage purposes. So let's. Now we got Lux being forced back in the mid lane. Warwick, he's got a really big experience lead on that Italy, I guess, thanks to what happened in top lane. She's going to try to pick some of that back up, because Warwick's level 6 is super dangerous, and he's just trying to accelerate that as best he can. He's up about half a level right now. Looks like Pantheon is still able to bully this Darius super hard. Oh, is he going to get the 1v1 kill? He did, wow. Even when Darius bought that chain vest, yeah, that seemed like a really good pickup for him. He's playing back this time, using that ward. Good job from Pantheon. He's leveraged that into a really big CS lead, too. Junglers both opting for the Trailblazer. Looks like Nidalee's going for the Rune Glaive, which is really strong, really standard on her. While the Warwick goes for Devour, which nice. I don't really like Devour tremendously on him, but it's not. That's a good, decent choice. Juggernaut might, or Cinderhawk, sorry, might be the option, given that he's the only tank for his team, but Devour is fine. Look at, alright, mid lane just hit 6, so I expect both of these really combo-heavy champions to be looking for an opportunity to blow the other one up. And I think either one of them can do it from probably 70% health, based on what we've got here. We've got Chalice coming out of Lux to give her a little bit more survivability, and then I'm guessing when you build Fiendish Codex first, that tells me that your opponent wants to go and straight in on Omicron. Alright, we got both junglers sort of hovering in that mid area around the river. Warwick got the wolves. Nidalee took the Scuttlecraft. He's coming in for a gank, it looks like. Warwick just got level 6, so if he comes to counter gank this, that would be the end for whoever he hits. Oh, Spear lands, so that's nice. Good flash. Had to avoid the binding. So I really expect to see Syndra playing really safe, especially without that flash. Both of these really low mobility junglers makes ganking from, I'm sorry, low mobility mid laners make ganking really appealing for the junglers. Top lane, it looks like Darius has equalized some of the CS. Pantheon, I don't really like the third longsword pickup. I really wish he'd finish with Brutalizer. Well, looks like we're going to take advantage of that blown flash right now. Let's see, yeah, there's 3 people around mid lane. I'll come back to Pantheon's build in a second. Now he could use the jump to counter gank if he pushes out the wave and comes down soon. Oh, it doesn't look like Warwick's coming either. I think this is just going to be a 3v1 on Syndra. I think she's going down. Alright, good work from the blue team. That's really going to help. Oh, here comes Pantheon. He blows up Lux. He's going to be able to stay even. Warwick's still in his jungle. That's a shame, because Warwick had the ultimate, and that really could have turned that fight around. He probably should have heated Pantheon's missing pings. Could have been really helpful there. And definitely when he saw the Pantheon jump ping, that was when it's time to show up, because they definitely could have turned that 2v2. Let's see if he's able to make use of this ultimate in the bottom lane. He's going to run straight past a ward, but as long as he really commits to it. No, alright, I guess decides to turn that around and go through the tri-bush. Morgana's Black Shield can make things a little tricky for Warwick. It's kind of like a level thing. Good use of the... Oh, nice burst. That was a really nice ultimate. from Morgana. It ate the exhaust, which I don't think is a good choice. Oh, good job. Really good job. So now we're going to see the Grave starting to get a lead over the Lucian. Let's see how he's able to leverage that. Oh, meanwhile, mid lane is full of action. Almost, nearly almost went down. I didn't catch it, but it looks like... Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this Dragon Call. They're too low. Darius is able to walk up. Oh, the Lux snipe. There's no Pantheon jump. Man, that was dangerous. I'm pretty sure blue team just gets to muscle it out. Kind of made sense, though, because you just killed the bottom lane, right? So that's like a huge indicator that your dragon. Huge indicator that you should go ahead and knock out the dragon. But when your mid lane dies at the same time, you really need to reconsider your man advantage. Look at what resources you can spend. Oh, that Lucian. It was a little ambitious. So blue team really comes out ahead of that exchange, even though it started off with them getting really punished by it. A nice wraparound gank from Warwick. Got some sieging up on this tower. And the team comp right here for blue team, this is perfect for them. Because you've got Lux, Nidalee, and Morgana, right? Throwing long-range skill shots, they have a really significant penalty if they hit blue team. If you get hit with a binding, like right now, you're basically dead. Are they going to be able to kill him? It looks like it. Yeah, nice binding from that Lux. Very nice binding. Oh man, double kill for Pantheon. Looks like he's going to be able to leverage his back into a lead in this lane. Take a minute to look at him. It looks, he's buying a lot of potions. I kind of can't help but wonder if a crystalline flask would have been better. Or also possibly, I'm surprised we don't see a brutalizer out of him. I know his opponent went with an early chain vest, but basically he's bought the parts for brutalizer and the parts for Last Whisper. I would really like to see one of those items finish. I think the CDR and armor plan on brutalizer is really, really good for Pantheon early. Maybe if he'd gone with the flask, he could have saved a little bit of money. But it's working out for him in terms of his burst is decent on non-armored charges. Oh, this is quite the fight. I think he's going to be able to walk out. Might want to hit that mana potion just so we can go back to that spear harass that served him so well early on. It should be easy last hits under tower. Without a flash, I don't see this gank going off, but Warwick's got one. I think they overlapped their crowd control a little bit, but I don't think it would have saved Pantheon there. So overall, that's in favor of Darius, who somehow turned his, thanks to those ganks from Nidalee, was able to turn that lane that he was struggling in into a pretty significant CS lead. And if you look at the gold difference, it's about even. Pantheon's actually slightly up from the extra kill. So the ganks from Nidalee were really helpful. Not donating the blue, that's okay. That's the third blue. So I guess Cinder might be wishing chat. Oh, here we go. Graves and Cinder showing up. That blue steal. Oh man. Okay, but then that final spark looked pretty nice. But Graves able to slide out of it. Unfortunately, slid out of it right into a Nidalee spear. Pantheon's roaming a lot, and it's starting to cost him in CS. I guess he was building into a Hydra. Not too far of that. That's okay. I just don't think he needs it. Warwick keeping an eye on the top lane. We've got Warwick with 3 stacks on his Devourer, so maybe we're looking at around 20 to 23 minutes. Nami, I guess, wanting to disengage from the double poke. Well, Lucian goes down and takes a solo turret. Oh, but he gets jumped behind by Pantheon. So I think if you... Oh, he's running up. I think he needed to run down and dash over the wall. Yeah, when he runs up, there's just too much can go wrong. And the Darius disconnect is really unfortunate. Let's hope he comes back. Blue team's really trying to leverage. They've got a small lead, but they've got big lead in terms of pressure right now on the map. And if Darius was here, this fight would be really different. Good disengage, though, from the blue team. Both were able to blow a lot of abilities out of their opponents. Lots of summoner spells down right now, so if I'm Warwick, I'm looking for a catch, not looking to do all this counter jungling stuff. Try to get some of your stacks from ganks. You know, I know it's not as much as Feral Flare used to be, but ganks and dragons giving so many stacks really should encourage some team play that Graves just kind of farming in the middle while everybody kind of recuperates from that last fight. She's gonna tag out with Syndra here. She's gonna step in. This is a bad position for the red team though, because like I said before, the long-range sieging abilities of the blue team, if you get in this sort of like mid-game ARAM mindset where everyone gets mid and throws stuff at each other, really comes out ahead for the blue team. It can be offset a little bit by the Pantheon party engage from behind and the Nami healing and the Warwick follow-up ultimate. So there's like definitely good counterplay the red team has to it, and their all-in is very strong. But the longer those sieges, oh good, Darius is back. That might have been why they were a little bit reluctant, because the Darius siege, his placing siege involves using smoke. When people try to come out from the turret, it starts in the base. So these team comps are really synergistic in both sides, and they play really interestingly against each other. Just a cluster of skill shots here in the mid lane. Lux going Chalice was really nice for two reasons. Number one, against Syndra, who's a strong burst mate. It's nice to have the extra magic resistance, even though you're not getting the full AP that you get on Morellan Omicron. You don't get the feeling about those. Got something going on. Flash, oh, but there's nobody there. Oh, he got it by himself. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was going to pay out without following up. Darius comes in. Graves is going to follow up. You can get the Nidalee if she comes in with a dash over the wall. Syndra's out of mana. She's just trying to be a threatening presence. I think that's it. I think we just call it a win there. Oh no, not another. This dragon is also potentially greedy. I don't know. Anytime you've got this many people at half health trying to dragon, Pantheon just walked right into the middle of the other team and got blown up. Yeah, I think could be a second dragon for the blue team. Although they're also a little bit low, I think the safest thing to do would be to reset, because blue team with so many casters actually doesn't do it particularly quickly like red team does, but they have more catching potential. So I'm going to try to start it. I'll let them get it. Nami might not get to the free though. None of that. So two dragons, one tower up. The blue team leads to about 1,500 gold advantage. Let's see how they're using that. First items coming out from the AD carries with both. What you would expect, Infinity Edge. Pretty stands to check out the gold differential. Really significant lead for Graves. Wow. Kind of surprised by that, but it doesn't reflect in his items right now. Okay, there we go. There's the oh, that's a shame. Warwick's time a little bit on it. Take it away. Syndra goes down to that combo, but they're just going to pick it right back up with that Pantheon. Top lane really even on both teams. Nidalee very ahead in the jungle. That's kind of what you'd expect. They're very similar in farm, and she's got a lot more early game pressure. I think she got trapped here by that good scouting combo. You get the Warwick out there with the ultimate to hold him down until the Pantheon jump comes in. And the supports are pretty even. Really, the only difference there is going to be tower gold, because they both started with the same gold generation item. Syndra going to take a big wave in the top lane while Graves pushes out mid. Red team needs to find a way to get the tower right now, because they have the higher AD on their team, so they should be able to take it a little bit more quickly. Especially with the Warwick steroid, it'll go down super fast if they want to stack the Graves dash on there, which it looks like Chronophobia is leveling second. So we got a lot of attack speed. Tower's gonna go down really quick. If they can somehow figure out a way to get to one, And the way to do that is going to be through some jungle warding. Right now, a lot of the wards are in the blue side, or the blue team red side area, around that dragon. Baron unwarded by both teams, although I don't think we're really in danger of seeing that happen for probably 5 to 7 more minutes, just based on these team comps and the items the way they are. Warwick is only not even halfway to his Devour being sated. That's a problem because usually when you're playing a Devour jungle, you're looking to have it finish around ideally 20 minutes. It's kind of like Rod of Ages, where there's like a sweet spot window where you want to have it fully charged. And it's between 20 and 23 minutes for both of these items. Where if it's going to be much later than that, you might want to rethink the build. Even though it is a strong item, I'm not gonna say Devour is a weak item or not good on Warwick by any means. But right now, I think especially considering he's building into the Spirit Visage, it looks like second. There's that powerful siege. But just nothing there to follow up. But yeah, I think right now Warwick is benefiting a lot more from Cinderhulk, considering he's got the Spirit Visage, have that double health, and have the ability to go into the other team and do it a little bit more safely. So a third tower for the blue team. And now they've snowballed their 1,500 gold to almost a 3,000 gold lead. And they're just going to continue sieging up while Lucian gets safe shots on the turret because it's hard to engage on him right now. Good double bubble. Looks like they've decided to fall back as the respawn timers come up. And this would be a really good opportunity. I don't think there's a way to see it in the spectator view, but this would be a really good opportunity for Morgana to probably get some wards in the Baron side of the map, as that's going to become an option in the next 5 minutes or so. If they can get a catch, it suddenly becomes a lot more viable. So those are two good wards over there. She knows Dragon's not going to be up for 2 minutes, and so she'll definitely have recalled and refilled her Sightstone by then. This is really good, effective vision time. If she remembers to go back and reward Dragon sometime in the next 90 seconds. Because you want to have big response. Great catch on Midley. She melts, and this is going to be the tower that the red team needed so badly. Close some of this gold gap. There's nothing alone Darius can do about it. It's just safe back. I'm glad one thing both teams we've seen them do in this game that's really good is that when their towers were in danger and there was really not a lot the champions there could do, especially when this was happening to red team at that middle turret, they all backed off rather than stick around and try to throw out a desperate fight for it. We saw Darius do it there too. That's good. Kind of limiting the losses you're going to get for being in a bad situation. Darius completes a frozen mallet. Not a big fan of that item right now. After the slow changes, it seems really bad. I was trying to think of a better word, but it seems bad on any champion that has a slow in their kit already, or when you have a team like theirs where there's likely to be a lot of slows going around. You know, you got two big AoE slows from the Lux, Lucid Singularity, and the Morgana ultimate is a slow before it stuns. When you got the hook, I don't think you need it to keep people from getting away from you, especially when you've got the swiftest boots, which are actually not a bad choice in this part. So we got the dragon spawning. The red team's here to fight for it this time. This is good damage around. He does have teleport, but I think he's going to push the top tower. So this is a big blowout for the red team right now. Got a little too aggressive chasing into the fog. You know, I just talked a second ago about taking your losses and cutting your losses. Let's also, though, you just saw a good example of when you can cut your wins. 2-0 was great. Trying to chase me, 3-0 ended up making it 2-1. Chasing the fog, super dangerous. Chasing Nidalee in general is really dangerous because it makes it easier, like you saw there, for her to land those spears. And once she lands a spear, Nidalee just flips the switch and it's time to go. And you don't want to be the person she goes on when you've only got like 20% health. Yeah, I can't help but think that Randuin's or a Banshee's Veil might be better. Oh, good exhaust. Here's the first jump. So he's got 4 bleed stacks, 5 bleed stacks. He's going to be able to get the second jump. It's a possibility. Got the second jump. Wow, he is strong right now. And it has nothing to do with Frozen Mallet. Randuin's would have made that situation a little bit easier. Banshee's Veil might have helped him, you know, would have gotten extra auto attack off stun. Good trade, good trade. Cinder got caught out a little bit, but Lux also got caught out. Man, these teams are really holding nothing back and fighting each other. Oh, nice juke by the Lux to go around. And you've got long range skill shots like that, like the Graves ult, or like basically everything the blue team does. You want to make sure you dodge left and right versus forwards and backwards to get off the line of the skill shot, because those things go for days. Morgana going, clearing some vision. Good decision to put the ward down before starting to attack that pink. You don't want to get an unpleasant surprise when you're trying to clear out a ward. Sometimes that support is a little too juicy. So second item's coming out from the AD carries. Graves going for Phantom Dancer, while Lucian took the Static Shiv. I think the Phantom Dancer is the right choice for both AD carries, although Lucian is behind, and Static Shiv will bump him up a little bit in terms of power drop. Actually, they're really even gold. I guess it's those towers. 3 towers up is really covering for the fact that he's been killed a bunch. Supports both went with Locket. Great choices from both teams. Just the shield is nice. Locket works really great with Black Shield. Strong engage in the red team. Good final start. Darius comes in with the teleport. See if they can potentially turn something around here. No, he's getting back up from a distance. Let's see if he's about to go off with that ultimate though. No, not quite able to get the Warwick. Warwick did get his Devourer sated. Might have happened in that fight. I didn't do a good job keeping track of when it popped off, but it was a little late, but it definitely worked out nicely there. Now he's going for Blade of the Rune King. Fantastic item with the Say Devourer. I mean, really, probably the strongest 2-item combo in the game for doing damage. And of course, applying all the extra on hit. The Devourer passive doesn't proc on the Warwick ultimate, but the non-hit damage and the damage from Blade of the Rune King will getting some turrets from the blue team. So we might see things swing around in their favor now. This is still a really even game, up to almost the 30-minute mark. I think both teams are looking probably would want to avoid Baron at this point in the game. Both teams are strong enough to do it, and it's just so risky considering the catch potential and just the high scrapping nature of both of these teams. The siege damage from blue team, the really in-face, aggressive, hard engage style coming from the red team. A Baron fight could really be disastrous for both people. And so, because of that, both teams need to keep it warded, but probably want to stay away from being the one that actually starts it. If I would say one team had advantage in that situation, I would probably say red team has a little bit of an edge because they have the option of baiting Baron a little bit better than the blue team does. But it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. It looks like we've gone right into a Baron fight. Let's see if they're going to be able to get a good poke down. Alright, so we got Cinder going down. The Pantheon Warwick Dive Brothers combo. Darius is in the middle of the team. I don't see him lasting much longer. Darius goes down. This is what I was talking about. Red team has the opportunity to get this Baron now. Looks like we got just Graves and Warwick to make short work of it. Because there's really nobody can come in and stop them. Blue team not playing their strengths there. They were able to get a catch, but just that guaranteed fight in that area, I don't know, it was a little too risky for my taste. And now, for the first time in the game, red team has a pretty significant lead. Let's see what goes down here. Mikhail's coming out from Nami. Really love this purchase in this matchup. There's a really good case even being made for Mikhail's coming out instead of that locket for the first item, just because of how powerful those long-range snares are from the blue team. Really like that. Not to say locket's wrong. Really could go either way. But I'm really glad to see she's got both now. Looks like Morgana's opting for more of a kind of traditional Zhonya's build. I don't know. It's kind of late in the game to get that going. Oh, the Darius pulls in to make sure we don't see Nami anymore. I think they can stay on this dragon. Yeah. Probably clean up a little here. Just Cinder being split was kind of nice, but put her in danger. She had to back off a little bit earlier. It wasn't a bad position at the beginning of the fight. It was a pretty safe spot to be in because there was just so much pressure coming in from the golem area, you know, with Nami, Warwick being there, and then you've seen the Pantheon Warwick guy set up so many times in this game already. So it wasn't a bad spot, but when that right flank started to crumble, she needed to back off or she really ran the risk of exactly what happened. Pantheon goes straight into the back line, immediately destroys that luck with the Maw, the Last Whisper, everything. Wow, they're going down. And back to basically an even game. Just about 100, 200 gold separates these teams at the 32-minute mark. This has been a crazy game. I don't think I've ever seen this many team fights happening in one game. And the red team has decided, you know what, we've got this Baron, let's go for some turrets, and I totally agree with this. They're down 4 turrets. That's the only thing keeping the blue team close in gold. And if they can start knocking down 1 or 2 turrets of their own, we could see things really, really swing in their favor. Especially when there's not going to be a dragon for about 5 more minutes. Really the only thing to go is the turrets. That hole is nice. But there just weren't enough people there to defend that turret. And so now it's basically doomed. Sometimes you've got to cut your losses and wait for your opponents to show up. I think if Darius had done that, gotten that same pull, maybe when Lux was 5-6 seconds closer, that fight totally could have turned around. But as it stands, great pickup for the red team, 2 for 1 and a turret, and now they're solidly in the lead on gold by about 50. I'd like to see Warwick donating this, but because of the way the dot works, it's not so great with multiple applications, but that's really a minor thing. Pantheon's starting to build a little tanky. Darius has gone in towards the full tank thing, which I don't really know what his mindset was coming into this. If you wanted like an extra damage item before going tank, maybe a Hydra of his own. I like that a lot more in Darius than Pantheon, but Frozen Mallet's working out okay for him. I just think there's some options. Maybe a Maw of Malmortius. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could get the same job done for him. Lucian opting for the Blade of the Ruin King, while Graves gets the Last Whisper. Red team doesn't have as much armor built up, so I think the Last Whisper on Graves makes a little bit more sense. I don't know. I don't feel like there's a lot of high health targets for the Blade of the Ruin King to be shredding. I'd rather it be, if you're going to do that kind of thing where you're like, okay, they're not really damage. Nice audible by Warwick. It was obviously pressuring the Graves with the ultimate, the ultimate. Decided to switch over to Morgana and it baited out the Black Shield. Really nice setup. Good job holding onto his ultimate until he really knew he had to use it. And at this point, I think the red team is going to really look to crack that base, get inhibitor, and that might be the end of it. What I was saying about Lucian is when you're deciding to go for a double, like, heavy AD item, instead of getting the Last Whisper there, I like Bloodthirster a little bit more in this scenario, just because it helps his ability scale a little harder. I don't think he's going to be pretty set later. Backing is always great. Oh, really? Sometimes you got to cut your losses and take that tower as a loss, stay back and poke. Darius had just come up with those home guard boots and those Swifties. Really going to change things. Oh, looks like I got some greed out of the red team. So good job keeping the inhibitor alive. And the next 90 seconds, all sorts of objectives come up. So both teams have an exposed inhibitor. Gold is now about 4,000 in favor for the red team. Dragon's way in favor for the blue team. Tower's in favor for the blue team. Oh, Warwick sneaks by because he split off from his team to counter jungle with a blue buff. That was kind of funny. Didn't expect that to pay off. I kind of thought it was a silly play, but it worked out because I really want to see him recall before this dragon comes up, and the more delayed it is, the worse situation their team's going to be in if their jungler isn't set up for this buff. Alright, so now, most important thing, this game, honestly, might come down to the fact that 36 minutes in the game, blue team has not upgraded their trinkets yet, and they're not going to have good vision control of this dragon when it comes up. Darius did a good job getting the scuttle crab. This is bad. You want to have good vision in the bush that Darius is in right now, in that banana bush above him. You can pop some over the wall into the blue buff area. You need to be able to see how the other team is going to approach when you do dragon, so you can know you're doing it safely. And the upgrade trinket is free. It's basically free. It costs so little if you're not a support, and the support's the only one who has it. The only person who it costs a noticeable amount of income is the support that bought it. Meanwhile, you look over on the red team, you got 2 upgraded trinkets. You know, the pink ord trinket, I'm not a huge fan of, it has kind of a long cooldown. Especially when there's no champion to try to spot out with it. But it's better than not upgrading your trinket at all. Like, even the pink ord trinket, which I don't like a whole lot, it's got some merit. Way better than the unupgraded yellow trinket. I would really like to see that come out. I think it's going to bite the mission in the butt. Full on Nam, but I think you get disengaged after that. There has to be... Blue team needs to find a way to stop Warwick and Pantheon from tag teaming their back line. And because theirs is low, this is going to be a second Baron for the red team. Also, that Warwick is healing a lot. It's kind of crazy. And so blue team wants a dragon. Oh, middle not go bad. She's never going to be able to outrun that Warwick. I don't know what that ability is called. His E reveal. It's going to be a second dragon. And this is good. Some people might debate back and forth of whether to take this dragon or not. We've got Baron. It takes about a minute. It costs about a minute for Baron to do this. But I think it's worth it because when you take it, even if you don't need it so much, the second. We got Pantheon getting caught up here, and there's gone. He did a lot of damage to Nidalee though before he went. So that was a little bit risky. Having been in the jungle, there's not a lot of vision. Decides to pick up a Banshee's Veil, which I honestly thought we might see a few more of at this point in the game coming out of that red team, just because of what the expected value on landing one of those skill shots is, from spear, binding, the other binding, the hook, just all sorts of stuff that'll really change the game if it hits the right target at the right time. Now Warwick can definitely 1v1 that Lucian right now. And those two can definitely 2v2. That Graves is really strong. Really late game Yeomans? That's interesting. I wish I had checked the gold he had when he bought it, because I could see if it's one of those things where he just has the gold for it. It being good. Not a bad item on Graves because it has the armor pen on it. Just not one I expect to see so late. So that's kind of an interesting purchase. And then obviously everyone's going for the Blood Nurse, their last item, standard. Graves is getting really well protected by the front line of his team, so he doesn't probably need to use his last item slot for a defensive item. And in that case, you know, Yomu's is fine. I don't think Syndra can 1v1 the Darren, but she's gonna try, and she doesn't have to, of course, the Pantheon's gonna show up. So if he goes down for free here, we're looking to see, wow, they're gonna win the 3-4. Maybe not though. The Warwick has become really strong. One thing about Warwick, scales super well into the late game. Super well in the late game, and we're 40 minutes in, so I'm not surprised to see him being kind of the monster that he is.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
He gets that inhibitor, and I think that now that we've got the inhibitor down, we've got an 8,000 gold lead, I think we're going to see the red team close this out in short fashion coming up now. I kind of wanted to see them take a second, regroup. We're going to knock out this bottom tower most likely. Spend some of that money they've got built up, and I think if they just all push together, there's nothing really that the blue team can do about it. The Poke team fell behind. They had a really good showing, but once you got sort of that Poke siege pump, but you're playing at a deficit, it's really hard to come back. Nice pickup, getting a 500 gold, or no, 500 gold shutdown on your AD carry late in the game, really good. Is he also going for a late item? Yomu's, that's so strange that both of these guys did that. Really unusual. But whatever. I do think it's a little bit better on Lucian because you can pop the active right before you ultimate and get a few extra shots off. So, we'll see. No dragon, no baron coming up anytime soon. It's really just going to be a straight up fight for these towers. If red team wanted to be really safe, which I don't think they need to be, the surefire plan to close this game out is group up, knock down that top lane second tower. By then, you can see dragon and baron are probably going to spawn around the same time again. You just rotate right from there to baron to dragon again. The move speed is really great from the third dragon, and then you just sweep through whatever you want. You picked up about 400, 500 gold for everybody on your team. It really closes things out for you. We're starting to see full builds come out of all the champions. Looks like a late. I think the Pantheon is starting to build a Black Cleaver, which is another option he could have done instead of that Hydra early. Would have been great because his E applies it just like crazy. So we're seeing basically the same grouping strategy. This is probably safe because I have a really good lead. And Nidalee's not grouping. I think, honestly, it looks like blue team is trying to falling apart right now. They've just gotten caught by the same engage setup of the last 4 or 5 team fights in a row. Nidalee wasn't there, but she didn't get anything on the map. She recalled, she's going to fight too late. I think this is the second inhibitor, and just the core of the red team is so much stronger. Just in their 8,000 gold lead. Warwick just kind of laughing off the damage at this point. That last was Wit's End and Spirit Visage. Just gonna kind of make sure it works. Well, the tower does some noticeable damage to him. He doesn't have as much armor, but I think this is when we're gonna see the end of a really exciting game. Really, the mid game in this game was incredible. I really encourage both teams to go back and rewatch this live. Really good stuff. Blue team showed how to get a lead in the Pokemon. Red team showed how to handle a Pokemon. Great game. Really impressive from both sides. Well, I got to go.